it is a good positive policy initiative. That's why we do Cradle to Cradle. It's not only good for the environment, but also good for health. I just talked about indoor air quality. And waste becomes food for other products. It's not only good for people and planet, it's also good for profit. So we see it as a major business building opportunity and a competitive advantage versus the other players in the market. We used to work on eco-efficiency, as Braungart and McDonough mentioned this. So we've done a lot on energy saving, 28% lower energy level, whilst our production is much higher over the last 10 years. We use 410 million liters of water, half of which is reused. We're the only carpet manufacturer who does that. And now we are cleaning it so much, the water, that at the end of this year, or the beginning of next year, we will have a fully closed loop with water. That's all nice, but eco-efficiency, as Michael always says, is about doing less bad. What is much more positive and stimulating is to go cradle to cradle and be eco-effective. Because then you can leave a big footprint behind, because the footprint you leave behind, everything which is in that product can be reused to make new products. So we want all of our products to be like that tree, because everything that is blown away from the tree or falls on the ground is used by animals, insects, plants, or what have you. And another thing we think is very important is to use renewable energy in all the stages of the cycle. We currently do that via using hydropower via the Alps. Well, we have plants in the lowlands, Belgium and Holland, so that's not the most logical thing to do, but we do that now. And we are working right now to use sun energy, wind energy, geothermal energy, and biomass energy. And I think it is very stimulating that people like Michael Braungart and particularly Bill McDonough and other architects are now making buildings which deliver more electricity to the network than that they actually use. And this can be done using rain, using sun, using wind, and biomass. Okay, once you've said that your company, you want to change your company fully cradle to cradle, you have to start with analyzing all of your raw materials. We cannot start with all of our product groups, but we started with the biggest one, which is carpet tiles. And with the Institute of Michael Braungart, we have been analyzing all of these raw materials. And any industry, also the carpet industry, are using some optimal ingredients, tolerable ingredients, and non-acceptable ingredients. They are legally allowed, but according to the cradle principles, they are not okay. So we have been working the last 2 to 3 years to phase out not so good ingredients and replace them by optimal ingredients. And in 2020, we want to be where the green bar is. And I think we now are almost halfway, because we are making much more progress than we would have thought. And we now have 75% of our carpet tiles cradle to cradle certified. We work with a lot of students, designers, and all kinds of scientists to have a lot of cross-fertilization and to accelerate our move of the company to go cradle to cradle. And I speak with a lot on a lot of presentations together with Michael Braungart and sometimes with Bill McDonough across the globe. And because I want more industries to go this direction, and I can tell you it is happening now. Once you've said, okay, I make products with very pure material, that's all nice, but you also need to close the loop. So the European Carpet and Rug Association tried to set this up 5 years ago, spending 5 million euros. It didn't work. We have decided as a company to set up our own take-back system, and we are now taking back all carpet tiles, including carpet tiles from competition, in Europe. And then we have developed a system where we can actually separate the carpet tiles, as you can see here. And that took us 2 years. And we can put the carpet tiles in the machine, and you'll hear a sound, something like bzzz, and then at the end of the machine you will see the yarn separate and the rest of the materials. And we have worked with our raw material suppliers to be able to depolymerize that yarn into caprolactam, which is a liquid you normally get from virgin oil. And with that caprolactam made from the used yarn, you can make new yarn or new plastic products. So that is fantastic. Now the other part of the product is the backing. We use bitumen. When Michael Braungart visited my office In the first meeting that we had, he said, "What is that?" And I said, "It's bitumen." "Oh, son of a bitumen," he said. So I immediately understood I have a problem. And we developed together with him polyolefin backing, which is totally pure. And we are now proud to announce that in the middle of 2010, we are able to introduce an almost 100% cradle-to-cradle tile on all our carpet tiles. It will be 97% cradle-to-cradle. There's 3% to go, and that is the biggest issues are the dye stuff, the colors. And we have now 3 leads, and with 3 different suppliers. And one of the disciplines which we are working with is biomimicry, which is a science which is trying to look to nature on how you can get actual good colors. So we hope to crack that one the next 2 to 3 years. Alright, that was it. Here you see the closed loop. You may ask, okay, you set the stake back system up, but what do you do with your current tiles? Because they are not cradle to cradle for competition and yourself. Well, we can actually take the yard from those existing tiles and process them in a cradle-to-cradle way, as I just explained. And the backing, the bitumen, with the limestone in there, is going to the roadworks industry or to the cement industry, which is much better than what is happening now, because in France, in the UK and the US, they are throwing all these synthetic carpets today on the landfill. And we are, and this is what we are going to take from now on. We've already started. Okay, the last thing is that we like to be an innovation platform for all our partners, for our suppliers, the design community, and our waste management partners, as well as our customers. Our customers are big companies, small companies, mid-sized companies, and government. All of these companies have a corporate social responsibility program and a sustainability program, and we are giving content to their sustainability program and the corporate social responsibility program. What you see is that those companies who hear this presentation, the vast majority then are ordering our cradle-to-cradle carpet. So it makes a lot of sense for us to give as many presentations as we can, but we are doing sustainability with substance. The fact that I as a CEO am telling this story and saying that I want to be cradle-to-cradle in 2020 with all our products, and it's publicized in a lot of magazines and newspapers, will ensure that we will stay on course in order to achieve our objectives. Because there's no way that we cannot fail. Alright, these are the partners which we work with. A lot of companies who like to go cradle to cradle, the one more than the other. And I can draw another 4 circles around this, because this is a growing community. And I think that's great, because that is very necessary if you look what is happening into the Pacific, where there is an area bigger than in Western Europe, where there is no life whatsoever and only plastics. So we need a better world for my children, your children, and the children of our children. Thank you very much.
Is the founder of Cradle to Cradle, or one of the founders, namely Professor Michael Braungart. The floor is yours, Mike.
So, good evening. So I'm very happy that Steph could join, especially when I'm a little skeptical about whether people in Sweden really can get the message. And so I thought Steph could join me, and he is tall and strong, and so he could help me here. On the other side, I have been stranded in Washington a few days ago, and it's amazing what you can see, how people behave when they feel insecure. Yeah? When they want to get the next plane, when they are completely out of their normal life. And you can get the whole range of human behavior, like on Titanic or something like that. Yeah? So, one of the key aspects why I'm so glad that Steph could make it is for me talk to you to understand this is not about ethics first. Ethics is important for you personally, but I'm talking about business. I'm talking about innovation. I'm talking about design. When I'm giving a speech without Steph, I'm lost and lonely because people said, oh, that's a good idea, but you cannot do it. Yeah. And when I talked to Steph, Steph Cradle was the CEO of Procter & Gamble in Germany. He was the CEO of Procter & Gamble in Italy, in Poland, etc. And then he said, no, I want to run my own company. And he took the risk. He said, I changed my whole company. I don't make a little alibi thing. Oh, here, can I get a certification for that? And little greenwashing? And I said, I changed the whole company.